So you have just raised the issue of succession, and you are succeeding in the business after your father. And tell me, how is that going? And it's a big issue with many advisors. How do they find a successor? How do they smoothly make that transition out of the business? So how's it going at Ardill Group, you and your dad? And what advice might you have for others who also want to have a smooth transition?
Yeah, I would say our transition, it almost accidentally came about, but it really, it's been a beautiful transition for us. We got extremely objective. We wrote a lot of things down, and has formed a guide for going back to on a regular basis. And so to answer the question, I've been in the business for 5 years, and my dad still very much so is benefiting from the proceeds of the business, but I don't feel like I've overpaid, but I certainly don't feel like I've underpaid for the business either. But I've received the privilege of having him still part of our business in an active way. So I can't imagine a better scenario in transitioning a business. So that's first and foremost. A couple of things I would kind of suggest is that you want to find a partnership that truly is wanting to see the both parties succeed. It's got to be a great deal for the advisor and be a great deal for the outgoing predecessor. It really has to be a beautiful marriage. And like any marriage, there's going to be sacrifice in the process. You're not going to get everything that you desire, but if it's truly a win-lose scenario, it will be a lose-lose. And if it's the opposite is true. You really want to create a win-win for both advisor and outgoing advisor.
Fascinating. So you're saying there is no such thing as a win-lose in this scenario. If you think it's going to be win-lose, it's actually lose-lose.
The best way I think about it, it's like a marriage. Yes, you're coming to a fruition or a close, but if one party feels burned in the conversation or thinks it's a good deal when they sign up for it, but 6 months, 12 months later, they're realizing that they got pooched, it's not going to be good. And it really will come back to haunt you. That's why I relate it to a marriage in the sense that, in a fight with a spouse, if there's a winner and a loser, you've both lost, right? Like you really have to create an environment where both are willing to sacrifice to come to the table to create a win-win. So it's a sacrificial environment where you're saying, hey, I'm willing to give up control. I'm willing to give up finances. I'm willing to give up these certain concessions with the mode of operation. Obviously, you're doing it legally and ethically, and you're sacrificing with the mode of wanting to create a win for the other, but you're also wanting to make sure that you're going to end up with a win at the same time. And it's a gentle, delicate dance that sometimes needs third-party guidance in that process. But I certainly would highly recommend, finding that succession plan in play.
So even though you're a father and son team, you're a father and son relationship, you have had third-party guidance?
Absolutely. We had third-party advice in the process, and there's everybody knows this, has either experienced this or have seen this happen. Money can divide families.
Yeah.
And I would say, especially for a family dynamic, it's too important not to get outside advice. I did not want to have our business relationship ruin our personal relationship. And in so many cases, that's been the case for so many people. And I'm proud to say that that has not been our journey.